What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shawn Tiberio Show, coming to you guys a little bit unique this time, live from the Unleash Your Inner Lion event here in Vegas. I got my boy, my friend, and an all-around rock star business owner, MJ, here with us today. What's going on, dude?
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, we are here, Unleashed. This is actually the first time at this event, and it's been really impressive. And it's actually something that's very close to my heart because I have things I need to unleash myself.
So not just speaking, but kind of attending in a way, right?
Yeah, kind of attending in a way. And I'm really excited about tomorrow night, because that's one of those things that has kind of kept secrets. And so I'm really excited about that. I've been told a little bit about it, but the whole skirt has not been lifted up.
And it won't be. So all you guys out there listening, if you think that you're going to get in or watching this on YouTube, you're going to have to come to the event if you want to know the inside secrets of some of this stuff. So before we dive into tonight's topic here,
yes,
let me know kind of since you're kind of attending and speaking. I know you're speaking tomorrow.
Yes,
since you were in attendance all day today,
Mm-hmm.
stacked of speaker lineup again today.
Yes.
What was the big what was the big kind of takeaway for you today?
That's a good question. It's like asking what's your favorite song or your favorite movie. I can never tell you just one. There's a few points from a few different speakers, yourself included. There's always just those moments where something pops up, and there's not a moment I haven't heard a speaker that I haven't learned at least one thing. So today it was particularly, I had never heard Alexi speak, and so for me it was great to actually walk through the millennial, right?
Success blueprint.
Yeah, success blueprint. And see it from someone else's viewpoint, because as he started breaking it down, it was really simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
It grew. He starts almost like with a stick figure.
What do you say? Simple, complex. That was actually really good.
That was really good.
Yes.
Once he did that, when someone asked questions, he said, it's simple when you need to be simple, complex when you need to be complex. So for me, I love that. But how he started with the heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's always kind of where I have, as an entrepreneur and just as a human being, as a young man, this vulnerability piece. I didn't know how much of a shift it would give me in my life and in my business, in my relationships. So when he started with that, he had my attention right away. And that was what, for me, it's anyone who starts with the heart, I think they're starting in the right place. Mm-hmm. Because we look at so many times about tactics and we don't talk enough about strategy. And even in our life, we say, entrepreneurs are starting out and they're saying things like, well, this is what I want to hit. I want to do $100 million a year, but they're not starting back with what they actually like. We can talk about Simon Sinek, start with why, and so many other people, but the way that Alexi shared it and then he drew it out, almost like a stick figure, right? So he kept it simple, but that simplicity.
We won't really compliment him on the artwork.
No, the artwork.
There was the definite genius, and we're obviously at a live event. You guys can hear some of the laughters. We do actually, those of you guys watching it on YouTube, we've got a live audience. They're all kind of sitting around here right now. So we won't give them kudos on the artwork.
No,
we'll give them the kudos on the brainiac kind of methodology behind it.
Of course. Well, it's like a doctor writing a prescription, right? They get horrible penmanship. So it's the same thing. The concept is huge. It was great. But artwork, he's not going to be in any art shows anytime soon.
So I know we got a couple things that we want to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Real quick, give the listeners out there, the viewers out there, I know you're going to get into your deep story tomorrow, so don't give too much away for those sitting here live. But give a quick backstory to the listeners. Who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, real quickly, I grew up in the Northeast. I grew up lower middle class. And like a lot of people, right, don't have a unique story, had a lot of challenges growing up, but eventually went in the military. That really helped with a lot of things, and I really felt it important. For me, I was really driven to serve my country. I just said, growing up in the Northeast, it's really bred in you because we go see all, every year the field trips are Concord, Lexington, shot her around the world, USS Constitution. So I always had a fondness for the military in our country. So there was that. But then I quickly went into doing other things. I was locked into entrepreneurship at about 12 years old. I worked for someone, and even at 12 years old, he started showing me about inventory, cash control, making sure the books are right every night. And so I really got his style of fun at work and his freedom. It really drew me in. And he had all this, his freedom was that he had a lifestyle that he created. Mm-hmm. And I love that. So I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur when I was younger. Fast forward, I got some great opportunities here in Las Vegas. First, I put my chops in corporate world, and I learned the systems. I had to learn something. I didn't have any value. until I learned from other people who knew what they were doing. And I knew quickly they had the best systems. Found some great mentors, learned from them in the restaurant world. And then I eventually became partner in a marketing promotions company and then a few restaurants here in Las Vegas. We actually have 3 here, 2 in Mandalay Bay. And that just started me on a whole different chapter of my life. I realized those dreams, but eventually my partners kept running that, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I got more into the business coaching, personal development side of things. And for me, like, kids are a soft spot and young entrepreneurs, because that's where I started. I started as a kid wanting to be an entrepreneur, and I think we can change the world if we teach our kids how to have their own business and a second language. Because let's be honest, we're an integrated world. You should be speaking English, Chinese, Spanish. Like, you get that.
Well, I got some work cut out for me because I got one of those 3 down. So.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at today. I'm actually doing business coaching and personal development.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Those of you guys watching and listening out there, I mean, it's not every day that you get to sit down and talk with somebody. I mean, Mandalay Bay, tiny little hotel. I get it. Nobody probably has ever even heard of it out there, but you got not 1, but 2.
Yes, I'm a partner in 2. Yeah.
2 locations inside of Mandalay Bay.
Yep.
I mean, that just speaks to the volume of what commitment will get you, because that doesn't happen overnight.
No. And, quick backstory. When we got our first lease there, we went through a lot. I was in a partnership. I lost $1 million I didn't have when the recession happened. My partners and I, we lost another $1 million we didn't have. And we were sitting there like, what the hell are we going to do? And then when we got our first lease, one of my business partners, our president, broke his neck. So now here we are.
I mean, that just happens, right?
Just like that. And he's still in a wheelchair today, but he has an amazing mind. He's an amazing personality. He's a great speaker, wrote a book, runs our company, and has brought it to the heights that it is. And he's done a great job. So it wasn't without its setbacks, right? And the perseverance came because of those setbacks. Like, we didn't have a choice. We had to figure it out. And we came together as a team to do it. That's how we did it. We said, we got our butts kicked the last few years. We can't just sit here and complain about it. What did we learn from that so that we could move forward and actually have a successful business? And that got us to having the number that we have here in town. We were managing places in Arizona and New York, consulted all over the country. And then I eventually went to Europe, and I did some consulting, business coaching, and speaking for clients out there too.
So that kind of leads us right into the topic that we really wanted to talk about, and that is, it's kind of been a theme all day. Everybody that spoke at some point has talked about the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, the insides, right? Success is never a straight line path. There's a hiccup in the road, a speed bump, something, right? There's dips and whatever.
Yeah.
And yet at the end of the day, when you look at everybody that has been speaking, there's some keys to the success, right?
Of course.
Like, there's the key to the Ferrari, there's the key to the Lamborghini.
Right.
There's the keys that get you to success. And what for you, like, what is one of the number 1 keys that you would say?
I learned this from Murray Yamaguchi. It was, but humility is a huge one, because there's a lot involved in there. When I was younger, like most of us, you think you know everything. I thought I knew everything. And especially after I learned it from people who are really successful, I can do that. I can easily step in there. I could run places. I can manage 60, 70 people at a time. I can do millions of dollars a year. I can do this. I know how to take care of people. And then you get handed those keys, and it's not like that. There's so much nuance in there, and there's 20 years of experience behind what they were able to show me on the surface. So I quickly realized that humility and understanding that I don't know everything, and I'm a lifelong student, and the more I can admit that I don't know, then I'm open to receive these new gifts, these new lessons that allow me to get to the next level. So anybody who's out there who's a new entrepreneur, or if you've been doing it a while and you got lucky, and because sometimes you get lucky.
Sometimes you do. You
right?
trip and fall into luck.
Yeah.
Right?
And, and if you got lucky and you think everything's nice and easy, you'll get a stark reminder one day if you don't practice humility. You got to be open to the fact that you don't know a lot. And when you're open to that, the other part is people like you more, and they want to help you. If you're an arrogant ass thinking you know everything, it's like they say, be careful the ass you kick today. It might be the one you kiss tomorrow. So if you want to humility is a big one for me. Yeah.
So sum it up, like one word for the viewers out there. Key to success number 1 would be what?
Humility.
Humility. So if you're writing notes, if you're taking anything in, mental notes, you're out there running on a treadmill right now, whatever, get some humility.
Yeah.
That's the first key.
Write it on your whiteboard. Write it on your mirror.
What key to success number 2? What do you got? What's on the brain right now?
You know, it was, I mentioned it in the first part, but mentors. You know, and I'm not just saying this is a shameless plug as a business coach, because I do so much more on the mentoring side. And one of the things I love most is mentoring children. Because it was so funny, years ago, I just said, I wish I knew as a kid what I know now. And the more I said that, the opportunities started showing up. I was like, oh, that's what here are kids, you know, teach them then. And I don't get paid for anything like that. But the value that I get to bring to the community and the fulfillment that I have in that, because that was something I never had and I wish I did so much. So mentors are extremely important as young children, but they're also important as young adults, or just if you're new in business, right? You could be 50 years old, you're in your second career, and you think, I used to get it all the time. Oh, dude, I know how to cook. I know how to throw parties. I'm going to have an awesome restaurant. You're just going to jump in and get Restaurant for Dummies? It doesn't work that way. That's a great way to
the whatever book for dummies is the number one sellers. However, I don't know if I want that to be my cook. But I'm going to actually. I don't know if it's
a blueprint for success either for something like this.
That's right. I'm going to actually second that though, because it was almost 2 summers ago now. Actually, I did a program for an entrepreneurial high school. It's a school down in San Diego, strictly for entrepreneurialism.
What's the name of it? That sounds awesome.
STEM. It was like the School of Technology and Entrepreneurialism, something or not. I forget the exact name off the top of my head.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
I did this little mentorship program where I actually was working with a particular class on a philanthropical type pitch.
Right.
And they actually had to go out and compete. There was going to be a big competition at the end, some judges, kind of like a Shark Tank model in front of the whole entire school. So for the whole entire semester, my business partner now, he wasn't my business partner at the time, we're business partners now, but him and I together worked with them, helped them build out their entire marketing pitch, put the whole thing together, built out a website for them.
How long was the program?
It was a full semester long, so whatever, 16 weeks or something like that.
That's
so we were basically every week working with them. And again, just as MJ was saying, you know, no pay.
That's awesome.
But the fulfillment out of it, I mean, it was cool. They won at the end. Our group was the best group, and they won. So that was like the best payoff that there could have been. But
that's awesome
just to see them get up there at the end and, you know, have the courage to stand in front of, you know, high-level individuals that literally had the money to put towards an idea if it was a good enough idea.
That's really, and these are pitch like Shark Tank.
True Shark Tank style with actual like fellas and ladies in the room that love investing in these type of programs.
Okay.
And if they heard a great idea, they were gonna throw money at it. So, but to just see juniors and seniors in high school, that most other juniors and seniors, that's the last thing they want to be dealing with, right? And these kids were just on fire and lighting it up. So I just wanted to kind of second that.
Yeah, and you know, on that note, it's the schools that I speak to here, especially the ones that are lower socioeconomic status, they all almost, I would say 80+% of them in the classrooms all have an idea for entrepreneurship. And they all are very creative, and they know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is an opportunity for them to change the life of their family and for future generations. All they need is someone to show them the ropes. That's it. And I personally believe that with the challenges that we face around the world, that answers do come from businesses, and they do come from kids, and they are the future. And if we don't do anything to support them, we're kind of screwing ourselves, and we're screwing them even worse, and then the generations afterwards. So what you did is awesome.
100% agree. So we'll reel it back in here a little bit. That's like a whole nother episode, I guess, that we can do just on educating kids. I get
passionate about that. I like the kids.
Let's dive into tip number 3.
Yeah, tip number 3.
Success key number 3. What is it?
So I won't say it right away. I just will say a little backstory. You know, a lot of people heard of The Secret in the past, depending on how old you are, heard of the law of attraction and these things, visualization, which are extremely important. I think that's
a tactic inside of my book.
There you go. Right?
Shameless plug in the middle of it. Those of you guys watching, fortifyingyourmind.com. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Right. And it's a perfect point. And because visualization is highly important. But what people missed in the movies or they miss in the law of attraction, they think that you can just think your way to everything. Bob Proctor and all the other big people, they never said that. They're like, and you have to match it with action. You have to. And everyone who wants to sit on their butt and just think their way to something while they're playing Halo or whatever first-person shooter game they're doing on Xbox, they ain't going to get anything. So taking action, like you have to mix action with your passions and with your thoughts and your visualizations, and taking action is probably in here too, right? Okay. So
big piece in there, yes.
Yeah. So that visualization and then taking action. So you have to be humble. You have to be a student. You have to want to grow. You have to have a mentor, someone that is, and Alexi did it perfect today, right? You want to be pulled up by somebody who's above you in some type of success ladder, not pushed up by somebody at the same level, because it doesn't work that way. Be pulled up. So that's your mentorship. And the last thing is take action after you visualize. You do those three things. Yes, there's dozens more that are important, but I think these are three very core concepts that can make anybody, that'll bring them to a level of success and get them started. Mm-hmm. If you don't have those, you don't have a foundation. You're missing a lot of bricks and you have a really shoddy foundation.
Agreed. So
those are my
before we wrap down,
we're gonna wrap.
We're gonna wrap.
Drop a beat.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
You ready? You gonna freestyle something for us?
Yeah, I don't know. More wine, please.
More wine, yes.
Security, bartender.
Before we wrap it down, though, everybody out there watching, listening, they're like, "What's this event? I don't know if I've heard much about it, or whatever the case." Right? And I've been asking a bunch of people so far throughout today. I know you gave your big aha and your takeaway, but
yeah,
for those that are sitting out there wondering what is Unleash Your Inner Lion, or maybe they even know about it and they're just trying to question, is it the right thing for me? Should I go to it? Shouldn't I go to it? And they're not here.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? I know it's day one. It's your first experience with it. Kind of putting you on the hot seat here for a second.
I would say why. Mine would be more of a question: is why aren't you here? That was that. So I remember when I went to my first personal development, I didn't have the money, but I wanted a huge change in my life. And they would say things like, "Well, if you can't afford it, that's exactly why you should be spending the money." And sometimes you might be pressured to go ask for money, or whatever. I had a credit card, didn't have enough room on it, and I went and got another high interest credit card just so that I could get into it, because I knew for me that if I wanted to change in my life, that I had to take different actions. And so my question to people is why aren't you here? Number one, and then number two, the question is going to be, what is it going to take for you to get here? Like, what do you have to go through in your life to actually be pushed to the next level, right? And again, like I said a minute ago, don't be pushed. You're here holding out your hand. You want to pull them up. And so why not take that opportunity of someone who's made it, who's done the 7 figures, who's been able to show other people to do it and get mentored by them, and in a challenging environment that you get to unleash everything at the end, so that you leave all your limiting beliefs behind, and the only thing you have in front of you is what you want, and that's what you focus on. So the question is, what is it going to take for you to get here? That's the big question.
It's a pretty good question. Those of you guys listening, send us a message, screenshot this, whatever, tag me on Instagram, on Facebook at Shawn Tiberio, and let us know what is it going to take. Those of you guys watching on YouTube, throw a comment down in the comment box and just let us know, like, what is it that's stopping you? That's a really good question, dude.
If money wasn't an issue, what is stopping you being here? That's because we know the answer. You know the answer.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you jumping on tonight. I know we had some fun throughout the day. We've got 2 more jam-packed days of it. There might be some other ones of these, so stay tuned. Listen in. You never know when a episode might pop up on YouTube, ShawnTiberio.tv, or on pretty much any podcast platform right now. We're on the Shawn Tiberio Show. You might catch an interview or something from somebody, an attendee, another speaker, who knows? We're unleashing here, and we're having fun while we do it. So any last minute words?
Make a choice for yourself. You want to change your life? You're the only one who can do it. Make a choice. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see everybody next time.
Ciao.